Oh my god. Okay, I'm back. What am I gonna do again? Oh yeah, finishing quest. Oh my god, there's a lot. Oh my god.
How's everything going with your thesis?
I should be able to publish it next month. A few days ago, I was worried that I'd have to stop my work on it. Thankfully, that didn't come to pass.
Well, Azar was one of your thesis advisors. Honestly, I was afraid that you might have gotten dragged down as well. How did things get settled?
The newly appointed acting Grand Sage reviewed all of our projects and gave us permission to continue our research.
Acting Grand Sage? That sounds like a new thing.
Yeah, I heard that selecting new sages has been taking some time, so he's just filling in. But it's all thanks to him that our research results weren't jeopardized. Once my paper is published, I'm definitely giving myself a long vacation and getting some much-needed rest. Mondstadt sounds like a good idea.
They're really out of their minds, making I'll hate them the acting Grand Sage?
Take it easy, Professor. I'm puzzled as well. Just going by qualifications, you're one of our most preeminent scholars.
Fool! Do you think He was one of my students, but he rarely attended class. When I asked him about it, he retorted that self-study was better use of his time. What brazen arrogance! Misery of miseries! For the Academia to have him as the acting Grand Sage?
Professor, psst.
Want to hear a secret?
Really?
Someone named there's also a
Oh,
Wow. News of Alhaitham being the acting Grand Sage sure some people hey,
the Matra.
the Matra
I'm Ilias. I have to talk.
in the state. Why don't you tell
No, I have to tell them my. Sorry, can you lend me your arm?
since you put it down? We promised to take him to a Matra, but we don't know that many, do we? Oh, wait! Sino should be back at the Academia! Let's go find him!
Hello, traveler. Have you ever heard of a moment of dreams?
Oh, that...
I'm afraid not. Dreams have become. The same goes for me. The last time I dreamed was when I was but a little child.
Oh, right. Everyone.
Yes, we organized an event to give everyone, and thus our event,
So it's.
you could say that. We hear all sorts of...
Yeah, but to us, dreaming. Wait, but if there.
Oh, really? So you mean... No. Please allow me to address you too.
Oh, expert.
Now you seem interested. Please, follow. Rest assured, you'll find all the drinks and snacks you'd like there.
Wow, sign us up. But wait, Paimon's getting ahead of herself again. We should see what the traveler thinks first. Why aren't you saying anything? All right.
Very good.
Do you know what's the most important part of...
Well, I suppose it must be accumulating knowledge and sharing your experiences? Sorry to interrupt, everyone. We finally have some real dream experts joining us. Esteemed experts, this way, please.
They must be dream. Oh, I have a question.
No rush.
Whoa.
My question is simple. My everyday life is very difficult, so I would like to become a slime in my dreams. How can I do that?
Oh, Paimon knows! Paimon's had... The first time, Paimon became an animal slime. The second time, Paimon became a dendro slime. The third time, Paimon became a cryo slime. In the end, Paimon was... And the fourth time, Paimon became a powerful geo slime and went to take revenge on the forest boar that used to bully Paimon. But then the boar showed up with all of its relatives and Paimon lost again.
Wait, why did all of your dreams end so tragically?
Because slimes are monsters, even though they look cute, they usually cause trouble and end up getting killed by adventurers. Things don't tend to end well for monsters. Believe Paimon.
I suppose you're right. They are monsters, after all. I just want to experience a different life, but it seems that becoming... Maybe I'd be happier if I became just a regular finch.
Looks like being an expert is way easier than Paimon imagined. Next!
Oh, it's my turn. Esteemed expert, I want to know what posture I should sleep in so I can have the same dream as the one I had last night.
Well? Hey, you're supposed to be helping. First, what?
Oh, it's quite ordinary. I sat and chatted with my wife on a sunny day, listening to the breeze blowing through the valley.
Why don't you just find your wife and talk with her? There's no need to wait for a dream.
Well,
Oh,
no, it's fine. I didn't make that clear. I just...
yeah, it's not really about posture. What?
Oh,
Think about it. If you're the one thinking about her, and you're the one that'll be dreaming about her.
you do have a point. I'll give it a try tonight. Thanks for your wise advice.
Oh, my turn. I want to know the name of the plant in my dream.
I want to bring the souvenir box to my room into my dream.
I dreamt of a raven flying over the wasteland last night. Does that have any kind of special meaning?
Hey, no rush! One at a time! Their questions were way too difficult. We don't actually know anything more than they do. We're just more experienced dreamers, that's all. You do have a point. It's more rewarding to explore and contemplate the meaning of a Right now, these people are like wanderers who've starved for 3 days and 3 nights and are desperate to replenish their energy. Any explanation they... Oh, and now that Paimon has said that, you know who comes to mind? Bingo! If she was here, she'd probably be making some similar analogy. Unfortunately, she's super busy.
Dear experts, we have another guest who would like to consult you.
But you saw how we answered all the questions just now. We're not really all that knowledgeable.
Ah, but this guest is rather special.
My question is, why didn't you immediately tell me about such an interesting place? Huh? Nahida, how did you get here? Interesting events like a moment of dreams don't happen every day after all. No matter how busy things are, I'd still set aside some time to check it out. Anyway, I really didn't expect... Oh, right! If there's anyone that understands dreams, it's you! You should be able to help us answer all these questions. You're not wrong. All right, they can ask me anything. The more interesting, the better. Huh? What's wrong? You were all so excited a minute ago. Why the sudden hesitation? Even so, it's not like I look super intimidating or anything, right? And in terms of reputation and renown, you've also done many great things in Sumeru, yet they didn't even flinch at you. Alas, the interesting questions have all vanished in an instant. It appears I'm the one spoiling the fun here. I don't want to get in the way of the original purpose of a moment of dreams, which is to let people gather here and freely share their marvelous dreams. Now the atmosphere here is like water poured into a container. The water is more secure and settled, but it has lost its free-flowing nature from the river. I just want it to be another drop in the water, not the cold and restrictive container. She's sulking. Hey! It's all right, everyone! No need to be shy. The Dendro Archon is really nice, so please just go ahead and ask. Otherwise, she'll leave.
All right. I'll give it a try.
Oh, it's the slime guy.
Hey, drop the nicknames, would you? Besides, I don't want to become a slime anymore. Maybe a finch or fish is more suitable for me.
I see.
I guess I just want to experience something different. My everyday life is nothing but the same. The sky is right above me and the ocean just over the horizon, yet I remain caged in a life of monotony.
So you want to experience something new in your dreams? Sorry. I'm getting a little confused. Why don't you seek out some new experiences in real life?
Because if I don't work, I won't have any Mora. Sure, I don't want to be out hammering nails and cutting wood every day, but I have aging parents and young children to take care of. By the time this all dawned on me, I realized that my life has already...
But if that's the reason it...
Really?
I don't...
Huh?
That's right.
Well, of course, come to think of...
You should replace it. A new suit. You'll need to be...
Yes. I'll go and pick...
That's our Nahida. Only you would know how to get right... Actually, huh? I gave him that advice after a moment, he'd start to smile. It really surprised me at the time. My guess is that the names on the handle were of important people to him. Is it Oh, Paimon! That's why I was a bit nervous just now. Don't mind me, though. This is just my way of learning. Hey! Don't forget about Paimon! Thanks, you two. That makes me feel a lot better. Let's move on to the next question, shall we?
I already asked the experts my question earlier, but I wanted to hear the Dendro Archon's response too. What should I do if I want to see my deceased wife in my dreams every...
Longing for the deceased. Even if you keep reliving those beautiful memories, it'll only highlight the emptiness in your real life. If your wife were still alive, she certainly wouldn't want to see you like this, would she?
No, I suppose not. But our time together in my dreams is not just reliving our past. I don't know whether to call it a blessing or a curse.
Maybe all of this is rooted in your deep longing for her. Were there any...
I don't know. I suppose my biggest regret is that I couldn't spend the rest of my life with her. I really felt like...
Huh. You know, they say that whatever's on your mind is what goes into your dreams. But dreams are. It's not good to be...
Yes, I know. That's why I'm also a little disappointed in myself. And it's probably not good to let her see me in such a state. Anyway, thanks for your advice, Great Dendro Archon.
I'm a little worried about him. I hope he can find a way to cheer up soon. I think I can... Are you feeling any...
Yes. I think, now that I think I know where that place exists, but at the same time, I feel as if I should go and have a look anyway. Otherwise, once I can stop dreaming about that place, I'll probably be able to get my life back together. Actually, you two are adventurers, right? If it's okay with you, could you...
Yeah, it might all... Even if you can't see your wife...
Yeah, I hope so too.
Alright, go ahead and get yourself ready then. Are you headed off to some interesting place without telling me again? Huh? Wait, aren't you supposed to be answering questions? I just finished, and they really got a lot out of it. So many interesting and novel thoughts. Anyway...
Oh, there's no need to trouble you, Great Dendro Archon. I imagine you must have many other important things to deal with.
No need to stand on ceremony. Besides, I wouldn't have asked to come along if I didn't have a good reason. I wanted to use this opportunity to discuss with you some things that are puzzling me right now.
Huh. I didn't know the Great Dendro Archon could become puzzled too.
I'm not all that different from you, you know. Alright, let's go. We can talk on the way. Go for a leap.
Huh. Do adventurers often go to places like this? Huh.
So, this is where you always meet your wife in your dreams?
Yes. When I saw her in my dreams, we didn't do anything but talk about ordinary, mundane topics. I'd tell her about art. She would also reminisce about the past with me, telling me interesting stories and cracking. It feels like no matter how long we may chat.
Sometimes, it's the little things in life that matter the most. This is the part I'm very familiar with dreams, and normally, they lack logic and continuity. But you said she could remember what you had told.
That's right. She always listened to me carefully in real life, and now, she's doing the same in my dreams. She always surprises me with some detail.
Whoa. However, the problem is that for example, a loud noise outside your window in the real world could cause your dream self. Another example. If you're thirsty in the real world, then you might, but the appearance of your wife seems unusually
I don't understand it either. But I have no reason to suspect or reject these dreams. They're too beautiful.
But I still want to figure out the how and the why. These kind of dreams are novel to me as well. Let's go. Just think of it as a nice little hike to the top of the mountain. Well, he really wasn't kidding. This place, no matter. We'll just finish them quickly. Huh? Are you going to fight too, Nahida? Of course. This is all part of our little trip.
Written in the stars.
Midnight Phantasm.
Inazuma shines eternal.
The scenery? Paimon wouldn't mind I've yet to see anything strange about this place. I do not plan to deny the power of longing. His wife must be a... Huh? Wait!
Oh, so you are waiting for me here? Well, guess what? When the Dendro Archon said she wanted to come with me, I could hardly believe it. I'll bring Haidar once I'm more familiar with the way here. She's been telling me that she really misses you.
Huh? What's wrong with him? There's nobody there.
Wait, Minar. Don't go that way. It's dangerous.
Uh-oh, he's gonna fall. Catch him! Luckily he didn't fall. But what was all that rambling about? He's in the dream now. What he said just now matches almost perfectly with the dreams he's described to us earlier. Oh! I find it a little strange as well, but we mustn't awaken someone while they're sleepwalking.
Huh? Minar. Where's Minar?
Oh, good! You're finally awake!
What happened? Huh? Oh, right. The moment I reached the summit, I saw my wife, Minar, sitting there. After I introduced her to you, and then she seemed to suddenly disappear. A strong wind started when I realized something...
That sounds...
I don't think so. I slept a lot yesterday, and I don't feel very sleepy now.
Maybe we've affected the way his subconscious constructs dreams by following him here. Anyway, all that matters is that you woke up safe and sound.
I think I know what happened now.
Let's head back now. Don't come back to this place again for the time being.
Oh.
Nahida, what's on your mind? Paimon's a little worried now. We still don't have enough evidence to work on. Oh, right! Come to think of it, there were lots of people from the... Right. And not only at a moment of dreams, there may be people like this all across Sumeru. We need to understand what's happening and the rate of its development as soon as possible. Then there's no time to lose. Let's head back. Stop standing there, Ilmon. Let's go.
You're back already. How'd it go?
We have an emergency on our hands. Please notify everyone here that—
What? But could you at least tell... I see. I never knew even... Don't worry. I'll be sure to notify all using the event registration list. I should be able to contact more...
Thank you. That would be very helpful.
Let me confirm if all of today's participants are still here. Atta has already left. It seemed that he was on his way to make a hammer, so that shouldn't be a problem. Has anyone seen Katya?
Oh, I think she already left. She said there was somewhere she wanted to go.
Oh no. Did she want to look for the place from her dreams too? Can you tell us where she went?
Yes, she did briefly mention it. Somewhere near Chatrakam Cave.
Alright, thank you. Please help us tell the others not to do anything reckless.
Sure thing.
I do worry about the well-being of my retinue.
waiting for you for... Find anything you like?
Illusion shattered! Let's light it up!
come on. Serious suggestions, please. I'm not.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sin. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all.
Yes, you came to me. So all the more reason to take...
Okay, but...
Did one of them just mention Tatarasuna? Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to... Great! Let's go find out what this Tatar...
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. If only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about her, this seems like the kind of thing she'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you said.
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you.
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't...
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a person.
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive?
Oh, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's late...
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, but in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a Kabuki Mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabuki Mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person...
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow, did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the government records office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma even back then. Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry.
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in this story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like...
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So, basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan,
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the point.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
I agree.
Oh, and please read. Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essays.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it? Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no... Ah! Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see. Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough. You're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal. And he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was...
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between... As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in
Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore?
I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm... Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my...
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings. And you said you need...
I think these two have made their objection to that.
Yeah, obvious! Then let's put that discussion. Today can be a trial.
All right. Then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you serious about this?
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that?
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became... The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descender.
Exactly! Or what if...
I understand. But how things will go in the future depends on what... Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. Yours...
Paimon's still worried.
I was gonna contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assign, even though he only has a fraction of his full power left. That, of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to...
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you.
Fine. Let's call it truce.
Let's cut each other. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced.
If there are no further objections, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure. Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow. So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to...
Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted.
Let's go.
Hey, so...
I was just imagining the look on your travel Anything's possible in here. You can't roll it.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint. The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're Traveler, Paimon. Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join. Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads? That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while. Paimon's never tried this before. So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say. As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as always. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladier into the person he is. Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else. Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon. Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. Really? Because from what they were saying, It sounded like lots of Tatara Suna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination.
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gesse got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatara Suna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not... Huh?
This light. It looks similar to...
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement! You have to share it with us!
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatara Suna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As the forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but none of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope, but that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the shogun's own hand.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat?
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you—
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatarasuna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm, and yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that—
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out.
It's no trouble at all. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us—
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only It is easier for a person to be Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead.
If you give him my heart, tell him he has nothing to prove to him.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me, creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn it? But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never... You know very well what that means.
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabuki Mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as a mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the Balladeer became the main test sub. After the event, the load was far beyond what he expected, but the Balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion, the mechanic answered. Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for. He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The Balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. He thought Niwa had
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Yes. Only if he understands this can you...
Dottore, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of the...
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest...
Huh?
The reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world. Plus, he only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, did you get all that?
Yes.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul.
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, so tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer!
You know, but if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow. Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened?
It was the Balladeer's fault.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or...
Where the heck did he go?
Don't be. It's not your fault. We're running out of time.
We're out!
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but...
An emergency?
Don't worry. If my assessment is...
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the... He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it. So, why does Paimon still have a bad... Paimon's so confused. Huh? Sorry. Paimon accidentally... But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a wink tonight. So, how about, Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munt and Dragon chili chicken! Also a Paimon suddenly can't remember which... Is that a food, too? What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said? So, the balladeer. Is that some... Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like...
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. No. Now there's a question The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. The art of forging practiced by these most of the great swordsmith clans of old. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the if my memory serves me right.
Oh, yeah, we were! We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden...
That, in fact, he told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokunen, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you. The Raiden Gokuden were the
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation, knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives. Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but the smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. Powerless, alas. If only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden. In his fury, he murdered but when he came to the Kaedehara, and that is why the Kaedehara clan and their...
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? On to the next stop!
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking...
Are they out on business?
The commissioner is out...
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else...
We'll be heading in then.
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending as for the...
So pretty!
Very much so.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome, Miss Kamisa. I must say, many things in Inazuma. I mean it. Whenever the commissioner has such a... They say they get it, Miss Kamisa. It's been many years now, as someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter. So, in the future, if you ever do have the time, wonderful.
Paimon likes it here too! Also, Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner.
Of course.
Alright, goodbye for now. We're, great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
All right, then.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
Well, here we are. But what are we looking for? Something? Or someone?
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
Xavier? What are you doing?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area.
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes back around 1,000 years.
A couple?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna?
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't...
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge? Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I'd like to meet, actually. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where to... Of course!
Oh, we're leaving?
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. Come on, you got it? All right, let's...
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a...
We have time.
It's the same topic we discussed last time.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we...
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh, of course.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about—
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically,
Wow, so many.
Well, well. So there's—
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis.
Yes, okay, point
And they're back at it. These guys are—
Oh, so sorry. Look at—
You're welcome.
Keep us in the loop if you find out it—
Will do. Nahida, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up.
The Balladeer? This sounds like some kind of code name. You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me? Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
But how was he even able to do that?
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because, well...
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. The Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about her in Irminsul. And it also explains why any changes to Irminsul. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's...
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for... Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right? Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, he couldn't keep hating humans after that. And the story makes sense. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the Doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it just feels so hopeless. He gave...
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of...
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something to do with the balladeer?
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the ballad, changing the information in but Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
And sending the traveler to Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew she'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information, but if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us. The now erased life of the balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender, and it could not grow. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up. The monster smiled, The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten. The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived.